Hello again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video 76. In the last video I forgot what it was that I was showing you. But in this video what I want to do is discuss how we can protect our form from porn, like bad words, or any advertising text. So what I want because I want to show you the use of a JavaScript algorithm that I created to protect your database from porn and other things really, but mostly porn and advertising. Now this algorithm is like the first defense to protecting your database. So like if you put something here and let's say you put some bad words, we're going to use oranges and apple as a bad word, and then you insert it, it's going to go through all the process, but it's not going to find it to be a bad thing. What happens is it's going to look at it as regular text unless it does check for email and URL specifics, but when you do like first name, last name, and even messages, it'll write it into the database because it's no problem. So we want JavaScript that actually runs on the actual desktop on the client side. This one is a, what is this one? This one is whichever, Chrome or whatever that you're using, right? So when you call the actual form, right, and you try putting a bad word, this is what you get. So right now, this is the actual form. Now right now you're using, remember before I told you that we use this right here for PHP. This is how you find things. You go, oh, this is post, because you know this is a post right here, right, method. And then you say, oh, this is a first name, last name. This is what they use, PHP. But JavaScript uses ID. You can call this anything you like. It doesn't matter. You can call it anything. This is an ID. This is an ID for last name, whatever. And what happens? JavaScript looks at that ID and checks. If it finds that it's some porn, like a bad word, like we're going to use orange or apple as a bad word, it'll look at apple. The moment you hit that last letter, E, it disappears. So it won't let you. This is like the first defense to the database. That's why it's so important to do it that way. I took the liberty of creating the actual file itself and put it separately, which is right here. We're going to call it test bad words .txt as in text. I'll put it in the description, so whenever you need it, you just have to copy that. Make sure you turn the txt to .js. I'll put it inside too in the description, but in case you have a problem, get it from the text and then rename it, okay? So the way it works is this. What I did was I ran, see, every language has functions, objects, right? Every language has that. So when you create a function, this is how you create, same way that PHP. That's why PHP, if you learn PHP, you can actually get into JavaScript a little easier, or vice versa. The only thing is that JavaScript has this little, it's really weird, and you really have to know it, the ins and outs of it, because it does things that is weird. Like for instance, in PHP, if you let the semicolon away, it won't work. But for JavaScript, if it's not there, JavaScript will put it in there for you. That's why it's in good practice to always make sure you. Now I know this is a PHP course that you're taking in my YouTube channel, but this is part of also the scrolling, and of course checking for bad words. You need to do it on the client side. You're going to need JavaScript. So I'm giving it to you anyway, because right here, which is called the actual file, what is it, crud.php, is the same thing as what we have here, study.php, okay? This is for me, but in reality, I'm going to give you the right one, and it has the JavaScript. As you can see at the very bottom of it, right here, this is the actual PHP stuff. See, and this is the footer. You started with saying script. You have to put script in front of it, just like anything else, right? And then you put function. This is how you create it. So where there's no name for it, but because this is a no-name function, so what happens is when you hit this, it creates a function for you. Remember I told you when you create a function, it doesn't work until you invoke it. In other words, until you call it, right? And in this case, JavaScript, you can do this. You can do the same thing, but if you want it to run automatically once the page is loaded, you go and you do. So let's go. This is the whole thing. This is a actual function name, but just wanted to show you this part right here. I put it in a separate file anyway for you. See, this is the ending. This is how you create that function. And see this bracket right here, this little, the parentheses with nothing in it. This tells JavaScript, your client, your browser, the engine in the browser, hey, I want you to run this right away and do what it says. That's what that is. Instead of you, what was the name of the file name? Test. Instead of you saying test bad and all that, what is it? Bad words like that. .js. Instead of doing that, it'll do it for you. Not JS. Bad words like this. Instead of doing this, this does it for you. It's the same thing. I could have just put that name there, but I didn't want to. I want it so when your file gets loaded into the browser, please run it. And it just does a lot of different things, but I'm not showing you this. I did copy the other piece, the part that I need to show you, which is this part. I copied it to a separate page, just as I told you. So now it runs this automatically, right? It runs the function. It creates a var. When you create a var variable in PHP, which you already know, of course, you put a $sign that says ABC, right? This is how you do it. In JavaScript, you have to tell it. Var or let. There's a word that says let, like that. New version. And I know I don't expect for you to know this, but what happens is this is a variable. This is an array. You got 0, 1, and 2, and 3. Remember I told you we're going to use the word Dick Clark or Ticas or orange or apple. These are going to be used as a bad word. This is how you're going to add. This here in my production thing is huge because I have a lot of bad words in there because I want to make sure it catches it. I don't want people to be sending me crap. Then what happens is do not array. This is the name of the, and then you create another variable. Now you can actually create a variable like this too without the var. And then what happens is you take do not array, which is an array, and I want you to give me the length. Right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 4. Then it creates another var, right? And then it gets the element from that what you call it, the form, which happens to be, where's the format? Right here. It takes this information that's in this form, right? The value that's in this form. Don't mind this. This is only if you got something and PHP puts it in there for you. So don't worry about that. The moment you type something in, that becomes the new value, right? So what happens is it copies this. It reads this. It says, oh, you got something in there. So it goes through the whole process. Remember I told you this is the length of it. This is another way of you've seen this in PHP too, right? So you say instead of using the var, it'll be something like I equal this and this equal to this, and then of course add 1 to the I, and then continue the loop, right? But in this case, it's gonna do the length of what this guy is, right? So then what happens is it reads your right here, it reads your input element. So if you kind of put something in here, it'll take this right here, right? It checks that over here, puts it in here, and then I want you to lowercase because I want to make sure everything is lowercase before I check, because it does matter. If you say a capital capital P-O-N, what is it, how you spell it? Capital P-O-R-N as in porn, compared to small p-o-r, it's going to be two different words. That's why it's a good idea to make everything small, and that's it. And then what happens is this is how it's done. It puts it into another variable. Now you take that variable, the actual test field, which is this one right here, and it takes, see what it says, that value? Well, it checks the value, the stuff that you type in, not what you see here. This is only when it calls itself. Then if you got something in here, I showed you that already. But the moment you type in something, it becomes the new value, right? It calls that value and looks at it and says, hey, is there a, like a word like that equals to whatever's in here? Let's say it's equal to something that's in here. And if it finds it, it goes to say, yeah, it's true. And guess what? It takes this text and it makes it into a 0. That's why it will disappear. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then, of course, it'll go. We're not doing anything with the focus. That's why I put this comment. With focus means that when you type this one, it jumps to the next one, or if there's an error, it goes right back to it. It'll always go back to that first one because it'll be focused like this. So let's say we're using the word apple. Apple's no good. And the way it does that is just checks. Now for it to check, this is just the function, right? It just runs, but you still need to do something with it. You have to call it. When you create this function and you do what I just told you before with the two parentheses, boom, it's out there in memory, right? So then now you keep going. See this right here? This is the actual name of what the file has. See? First input, first name, input last name, and email, and that URL, and that's what that does. See, and what happens is it even checks the text, right? Like I showed you, and then the JavaScript. Now this is jQuery. It's just another language, but it is actually JavaScript. jQuery is a language that takes JavaScript and creates different things for you, so that way you don't have to do it completely from scratch. And what happens is it gets this. See. It reads that first array, which is the 0 one. It says, is this the name you have? If it isn't, it finds it. I'll say in key up. See what it says that on key up? That means the moment you lift up the moment you type in and you lift up your hand after you have done that last letter, which may, in this case would be, let's do apple, right? E, then erase it. See? It finds it, it does the key up, and it says, okay, run this. It goes up and runs all this for you. I want to give you an example. Remember I told you apple is a bad word? So if I want like this and I say apple, it takes it away. See? Let's go here. Let's do apple. That's because I put other stuff too. See? This one could be, I don't know, 100. Let's say 100. Then you say apple. Oh, what was the other one? What was the other one? Orange. So you say orange, O-R-A-N-G-E, boom, takes it away. And then over here, what did I call the other one? Dick clock. Let's say dick clock. So I'll say dick clock. See, it took it away. So let's put this here. So if you went here, you could say apple. Boom, takes it away. This is your first defense, and you want to do that. Because these other companies, and when you go into the interview, they're going to say, oh, you don't do this, you're not a job. See, I learned a lot of different things because the things that I was doing, and when I went to interviews at the time, they wanted people to kind of know a lot about it. You ever seen how you look at the description of jobs It want multiple things, but if you can have at least 3 or 2 things, it will help you out. But so what I did was I took time. I took like 3 years to really learn JavaScript. It was really weird. It's a weird language, but it was really good. But it's only on the client side. But I wanted to deal with the database. Because I like, because you could make your website more dynamic that way. But in the defense, this is the way to do it. That's why you have to have JavaScript to do this job. And this thing right here does it for you. It checks this one. Now it goes down the line. It says, well, we didn't pick this one yet. But once it finds that the second one was picked, it runs this function with the 1 in it, of course. And it goes through this process. Will be 1 here, and it goes through all this stuff here. I know this is not a JavaScript thing, but this little thing, you're going to need it. When you get your form, let's say you added some form. I'm not doing it for the other ones here too, because you got the choices on right here. You know what I mean? You're not going to put no bad words. So you only concentrate on the ones that has input or text like that. Text. This is a text area, right? So when you do that, all you have to do is add it over here, man. Just add the bad words here, and then when you add another, let's say you add another input box, and you have the ID equal to whatever name you give it, just come over here like this, but get to the bottom part of it like this, and just copy. See this? Just do this, copy this, and give it. Remember that this will be the 5th one, like this, and then make sure that's 5. Like that, see? And then when you finish, put it right in here. Say comma and whatever name you gave it. Let me see. Whatever name. Like that. And once you do that, you'll be able to do the same thing what we just did with this. Okay? Well, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you the scrolling part. Part where you scroll, when you, oh yeah, the reason why I did that, because when you jump, let me see something. Let's get down to the bottom real quick before I say goodbye. I didn't want to complicate things. I just wanted to show you that part. But on the next one, I'll show you why. Hurry up, buddy. Okay. So when you go like this, right, you hit this and you skip. See how you get this message right here? Please enter the proper full first name. So if you put the proper first name, you can be able to jump. If you jump off the other one, it says please put the last name. See? That is done using, where is it? Oh no, where is it? That's only cut. Now, before we do that, let me save this. Just in case. Ooh, I don't need that. Let's take this piece out because you're not going to need it. You know what to do. Let's take that last part. This will be this one. Remember, everything has a semicolon. Now, like this. Okay. If you did that, you're going to see over here. See this right here? See? What happens is on that first one, 0, that would have been the name. See, first name, and the moment it'll read it and it'll say, well, okay, there's nothing there. The moment you jump to the next thing, it's gonna say, hey, it's empty right here. See, it's empty, and then you get that message. Please enter your first name, value. Then it focuses. It stays there. It focuses, so you don't go nowhere. And you do like this. Let me see. And then you jump, and then you jump. Boom. See? Email address, but it focused. It stayed here. It didn't move to the next one. It stayed there until you put something in there. That's what this does. So I'll show you that on the next video. Just to break it down. I kind of showed it to you real quick. I just don't want to get you confused. And that's about it. Well, that's all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it and you're going to use it, first of all, you are going to use the CRUD.php. That's the whole thing. It has JavaScript. It has all the HTML stuff that you need. The stuff you're gonna be doing pretty easy because I'm pretty sure you have learned the PHP stuff, at least the basic stuff. And and then the JavaScript, you'll practice it, you'll learn it. You might even meet a friend that has JavaScript background, and kind of could tell you. But I'm showing you something simple that you can use, and you just have to change a few things, and then little bit by little, get yourself a little JavaScript book and learn some of it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be. Yeah, I know that in those job descriptions, oh, they want somebody that knows PHP, they want somebody that knows JavaScript, they want. It's impossible to know everything because I tried for many years. I tried doing different things just to be more or less. And what happens is, after a while, this and that, and spending time, a lot of places they have separate people that does the stuff for you. You do the PHP stuff, somebody does the HTML stuff, and then somebody do the JavaScript. Then if it's a smaller place, you might be doing double different types of things. Like, oh, you concentrate on the HTML and the JavaScript, and you concentrate on the PHP. You know what I mean? But if it's like a really big place, they got different people that do that for you. You just have to work together with them. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you very much. Give me a like button, give me a likes and subscribe. And if you think that I need to improve on that, and maybe it was just too fast, I'll explain it to you more. But it is a PHP course, not a JavaScript. I just thought I want to throw that in there because you're gonna need it. I'm serious. You're gonna need it. Anyway, thank you very much, and until next time, have a good day.